Yo, this is part two of my fifth live session. Um, I was gonna keep working on this piece from the first session, or part one of two, but like last time I worked on this, I think it's important to give it space, so I'm not gonna keep going. But I do think the next session for this will be the final. We're gonna tackle the the Pteranodon firefighters, the sauropod, and then we'll finish up this foreground stuff. But we're close. We're almost there. To clear my palette, I'm gonna work on a few smaller pieces just for this hour. If you catch it, you catch it. Thanks for being here. Ooh. Bear with me as I am still figuring out all the logistics of all the technical stuff, how close I want to be to the work. All right, this is gonna go chill somewhere else. Today, I think it's time to finish her. We gonna work on this one. We gonna give this one a coat, a wash, to finish this one. This one is done. This one will be available at my pop-ups. It says, I grow where I am. I love this piece. This one's gonna be 65. If I've got time, oh shit, man, I have so many now to work on. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of these, but let's start somewhere. I'll start with this one. These ones can just be chilling in the background. Moral support. This one cracks me up. I don't know what this was, but you were here yesterday. You saw this one come into formation. It's fun. I'm excited. We'll put that one away. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to finish up this little dude. Whatever the hell that thing is. I was like, is this a pet? Is it a friend? Is it a whatever? And then I'm like sitting with, I don't want it to be like a pet with like a leash. I feel like that's not what I want. I want this thing to be free. So it's possibly it's a friend. Well, it's a friend like my little cat baby who's keeping me company right now. So for these ones, these are more in line with how I work at my table when I'm at my pop-up out in the world. It's fast. It's very loose. I don't think about it at all. Different than what I was just working on, which, it's a commission, but it's a bigger piece and it deserves the attention to detail that I was giving it. But then this is nice because then I can just be more loose. These ones are just more about the energy. Initially, this was supposed to be like a little habanero pepper, but now it's this. It'll be holding its hand. What is this thing? I have no idea. It's making me laugh. It's amusing me. Of all the things, this might just be her partner. Let's normalize one partner being very short and the other being very tall. So this one looks a little neurotic, so we'll honor it some more. I'm gonna just say it. There's a trap that I just broke out of. So I'm going live, right? And I'm looking at my number of people, and it's one, me. And forever, that kept me in this loop of wondering, how do I build an audience? How do I get, like, how do I get this to the people that would find this, you know, useful, important, fun? And it just kept, it was very elusive. And I was like, I don't even know. I don't know. And now it don't matter. I'm doing this live, talking to myself, chilling in the cut, doing what I love. And the freedom part is that, yeah, it seems obvious, but I think there's other people out here in the world like myself who assume when you see that number is at one, that before you can get started with this, that you have to find a way to get more people involved. But that would be a false belief, because I'm already learning very quickly. I set myself free yesterday. I started this on Substack. There was no one around, but it goes to YouTube. It saves. It's forever documented. It doesn't matter if anyone's on my live. This is a record of my time on this planet, and I'm chilling and I'm enjoying myself. And I absolutely know this is gonna go where it needs to go, and the right humans are gonna see this on their time, and the ones who wanna be here present with me live, they'll show up. So, all to say, if you come across this and you're an artist and you're wondering about the live angle, I don't have anything to prove. I don't have any proof yet, I mean, that this is gonna work, and I already know it's going to work. All I had to do was start. And even that, it's like you know that on some intellectual level, and then you still spend a bunch of time wondering, how are you gonna do it? How are you gonna get people to understand? And it's like, just do it. So this is just another layer of me getting out of my own way and offering it to those out there. Just just start it. I wish I had started this back in May when I first had the idea to do my little live show here, not on fucking on IG, on Instagram. But I've learned a lot in the last, what, 7 months? And all of this time was spent really, like, getting my style down, my voice, my techniques. So, everything in divine timing, but I just wanna say, do it. If you really want it, just do it. Imma keep saying that from now until the rest of time. I could keep going with this one, but I don't think I have to. Imma sign it. It's done. This one's going to market. This one's gonna be 42. It's one of my pop-up or it's one of my table cooks at my pop-up. Both of these will be for sale in person. If you come across this, message me if you're interested. If it's still available, I'll hook you up. For this lovely carrot, I'm gonna add a little bit more contrast, and then we're gonna call it a day. What's I'm trying to figure this out. What's the best way to have everything in camera, but let's just focus on the art. What do I want to do here? I want to just add some contrast. I want to add more of these tones in different spaces. So, well, let's see what happens when I just add some orange. I want it to be a little bit more of a red orange tone, like that. Nice. Look at that. That's it. I'm not doing more. Here we go. I love blending watercolor with my finger by dabbing it. And I don't always do it. I do it sometimes in some spots. Because I want to keep contrast and texture. So that's a little too hot for me. So I'm going to take it down just a little. I'm not familiar with this paper. It's one of my sketchbooks, and so it behaves a little differently than I'm used to. And so I sometimes have to recalibrate for the difference. But already I'm happy. Before she was only these tones, which I could have left alone. I was happy with it, but I think she really deserves a little bit more attention, a little more love, and let's give her let's give her her bosom. She's not pregnant. I imagine people might be like, "Is she a pregnant carrot or whatever?" No. I'm just letting her have a belly because let's fucking normalize it. Let's The reason there's a sexy carrot in front of y'all is because I'm so sick of the beauty industry. I am so sick of the patriarchy. I am so sick of corporate bullshit and everyone funneling into beauty standards and what it has to be. You want eyelashes? You got eyelashes. You want big lips? All right, you got your big lips with filler. You want big titties and you got curves? Like I'm gonna give it to you, but as a carrot. I'm gonna make you consider your position on the things you value in life. I'm gonna take a stance. Her belly makes her even more sexy. If you're new to this space, if you're new to what I'm up to, my studio is Kiid. I've been popping up all over LA and Long Beach, California since last December. I'm out here handcrafting food for your inner child. I'm here to help you take back what you gave up a long time ago because you let the world decide who you are. And if you're coming across what I'm doing, that means you are wondering or you have already shifted and chosen yourself. But I'm here showing you that there's other people out here like myself who has chosen self, and life has gotten so much better for it. And part of that for me has been decentering humans from the art. So you'll find me painting a ton of carrots and trees and shit, and dinosaurs especially. You will not find me over here painting humans. Eventually, yes, you will, but not in this first season of my studio. I've been around for a year. I'm gonna be here a whole lot longer than that, taking up space, holding people accountable, By people, I mean corporations and fucking false idol celebrities and all the other people who are fucking ruining this planet. And I'm gonna be real vocal about it because my whole life was one gaslight moment after another where everybody, instead of hearing the things that I wanted to share, made me feel like I was crazy or like I was difficult and I was too much. And I'm gonna be here taking up space, speaking my truth, speaking until others feel like they can speak up too. Um, I think she's done. Like, I could wait till it dries and see what happens, but honestly, she looks great. This is not gonna be a table cook. Or yeah, it's not a table cook. My table cooks start at 42 and then they go up from there. So, just to share with y'all, this is kinda what it looks like. It's like 42. Imma decide when I get there. I try to price it where it's like my baseline, but if I really like the pieces, they start at 65. These might both be 65. Without him, this would have been 42. With him and the extra flowers, no, I took something I really disliked and I made something that I'm proud of. These are both gonna be $65 at my table. This one will be available at my table, but Dainty, she's gonna be $143. Done. Next, this one too, $143. I already know it because I can feel it. Okay. There we go. Now it's saying something. What the I'm gonna try to find a reference of Earth. And because we are such a Eurocentric, America comes first world, I'm not going to show us North America. We're gonna look at the other side of the world. Asia, Africa, Europe. Or maybe not. Maybe this is the Pacific mainly. See. Let me see what I gotta find a reference. Looking at this one, I am like I just brought up with this one where I'm decentering beauty constructs and humans. This one, we're gonna decenter the United States. So I could even just do like this little cross section here. I'm gonna focus on Africa. Okay. And we're gonna do it a little off kilter. So if I wanna do it that way, there we go. So then that's Africa. There's the, is this the Atlantic? Yes, because that's the Pacific, yeah. We can do some of North America. There's Florida. There's all the islands. And that's it. Whatever. Doesn't have to be detailed, but it even in a tiny doodle like this, you're gonna see me put intention in action. Hi, Mama. Hi. My cats are keeping me company. She's sitting next to me. Hi. Mm. Where's your brother? I can't not. Okay, y'all. This is my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Hi. We're taking a little break to say hello to the babies. Hi, Mama. Don't fall off. This is too funny. Hi, Sage. Do you like sitting in this box? Hi, babe. No. He's sitting on top of the transmogrifier. And he has a little devil costume for today. No. Hi, Mama. Okay. Back to it. Let's see how much good I can do in 30 minutes. Hmm. When I fucking hear the news about what's happening to the forests, the ones that allow for us to breathe, it drives me nuts. And it drives me nuts that we just are letting these corporate pigs. I can't even call them pigs because pigs are incredible creatures. Pigs are incredible life forms on this planet that don't get enough respect. Pigs are kind of the reason why I stopped eating mammals. I love the smell of bacon, but I respect their hearts more. So I gave it up. I was like, I can't keep eating these animals, especially when I have my own dog, who I relate to, and it's like everyone's on their journey. Everyone's doing what they can. But for me, it was like it's not even about the bacon. It's not about the pigs. It's about how they're dying. It's about how just so everyone on the planet can keep enjoying bacon at every breakfast or like thrown in like ham and all. Please, if you're watching this, I mean, chances are if you're watching this, you're probably already pretty aware of what we're doing to this planet. But share this with someone who keeps giving you shit every time you try and bring up that we're destroying our planet. It just keeps breaking my heart. And the thing is, like, I know this will shake out. The earth will shake off. There will be loss, but there will be a lot to gain on the other side of this. We're just kind of writing it out in this post-late stage capitalist fuckery but the earth will get back to what it was always doing, which was just being in such an incredibly balanced and divine way. I'm gonna light this in honor of my home planet. I just made a choice. It's a hard choice, but I made it to quit smoking. I don't do cigarettes, but I've been known to be a stoner, and I've enjoyed it. Cannabis has been really healing. It's helped me manage a lot of I'm drawing a blank. Chronic pain, but I've decided I just can't keep smoking, and if I'm gonna keep using cannabis as plant medicine, there's other ways to consume it, and so me lighting this candle, lighting incense is a way for me to still feel like I'm sparking up. Shout out to everyone who's still smoking up and doing their thing, but I just know for me, it's time to move on. Hi, mama. What? This is wild. Okay. I don't want I don't wanna be too precious. I'm loving what's happening. I didn't intend for any of this. I didn't intend for trees on the back more than what was already here, the 3 of them. But then this didn't feel fully balanced, and then I want to give him kind of like a little mohawk thing, and then I started talking about how much I can't stand where we are as a collective consciousness and the environment and how corporations are destroying everything, and then suddenly more trees grew out of his back. You saw it here on this live. Let's see. This is awesome. These little toes. This is one of my favorite details. 1, 2. I gave the sauropod these kind of like little frog feet as he's gripping the earth. Technically in space he doesn't need it, but I thought it was kind of funny. Look at that foot. That is really cute. Okay. To most artists, no, I'm gonna correct that. Not to most artists. To most working artists who are in the business of performing for everyone and proving and showing off, this is like not finished art. Like this is like maybe their study. It's like their sketchbook entries, for their masterpieces. This right here is my masterpiece. I don't even like the word masterpiece because I don't like these notions of masters. Always telling everyone how we're supposed to fucking do shit. No, thank you. Woo! I love when you draw a single line circle in it and it feels right. Also normalize keeping pencil lines visible. Don't let anyone tell you how you gotta do this shit. And don't let anyone tell you that art is a fucking hobby or that it's just something. What am I trying to say here? Don't let the construct convince you that art is not a necessity today, right now. They'll always like angle it around like, yeah, but that's not gonna put food on the table. It's not gonna this. It's not. But meanwhile, these are the same fucking people who are convincing you that you need a new pair of Nikes. These are the same people who convince you to go out drinking every weekend and use up all your cash. These are the people who convince you that you need every fucking cream and essence and SPF and concealer. Don't conceal yourself anymore. Be free. Buy art. The more art you buy, the more you're going to realize you didn't need all those other things you were giving all your money and power away to. I promise you that, but you have to engage it. You have to find this to be more valuable than the construct, the bullshit. Don't let them convince you that art is like something you buy only when the economy is doing great and you have the money for it, or that you don't have space in your house. I'm telling you, the amount of times people come through and they're like, "Ooh, I love your art. I don't have any space." There's very few instances where that's true. There is always room for art. You just don't value it the way that you're trying to convince me that you do, and I don't care. I'm always telling people like, "Look, if you really want to, you could figure it out, but you're on a journey. And if it's not my art, buy someone else's art, but put art in your home everywhere you can. Your home should be covered in art, just like plants." I'm not really sure. There it is. So when I'm inking and when I'm just creating, I don't always have a clear idea of where the lines are or where they should go. I'm just courageous enough to keep searching, and then it starts to reveal itself. Honestly, this one might have to wait. I really want to sit with it. I didn't know I was going to love this piece as much as I do now, so I want to give it time. This one I'll finish. I'll save it until next week's live. Same day, Thursday, 6 to 9. I'm gonna let this keep cooking. This is a statement on where we are as a planet. They will go the way of the dinosaurs. What the hell are we doing as humans? No one's gonna fix this mess for us. Since I've got 15 minutes, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna work on this piece and I'm going to honor the sunset that I saw when I was walking home. Okay, this brush is not big enough. Switching to a wider flat. Oops. That's cool. Flat brushes are super cool because you can use the edge of them to like charge and do things that you would do with this kind of brush. But then you can also, because it's really firm, use it to like make straight lines easier. You can also like move pigments like here. I don't want that to be super clean, so I want it to blend more. So I just use, excuse me, you just use the edge to kind of like buffer. Boom. Look at that. Now you got clouds. And look at that. From me talking through this little moment, I started making clouds. I wasn't intending to. I'm also just gonna let it do its thing. This is one of those paintings where I don't think at all. I just lay it down. This is how I clear a palette. This is also not how watercolor normally would react if I was using cotton paper. This is an upcycle piece, so it's on the back of some food items, food packaging. And so it's always at the mercy of whatever kind of paper. That's why I didn't make something too complicated here, because I was not sure how the paper would react. But it's doing some really interesting, cool things, so I'm gonna let it. Okay, so that's too big a brush for what I was wanting to do. So I'm gonna switch to this one. My mom was a nail technician when I was growing up, so I got to watch her get real tiny with the details and then use like little brushes and stuff. So this is me in many ways honoring that tradition. Also, shout out to my mom. Happy birthday. I love you. That's Little Mouse House. That's the mouse entrance. I'm gonna leave it alone. You know what I just decided? This piece is called A House for a Mouse. I thought this was a giant house on some hill, and then the grasses emerged. And then it was like, oh, wait, that would be a lot more fun. So I'm gonna lean in there. Had no idea that's where this was headed. But here we are. I was gonna put down some hot pink, and then I was like, no, this should dry first. If I want the effect. If I had placed it now, it would have blended everywhere. And here, let's do a little bit, just so that I get a sense. But I already have an idea of, I want the hot pink to be like wildflowers. But I'm also forgetting that I just literally decided this is a mouse house. So these flowers would be much bigger. There we go. It's happening. You'll see this happen a lot in this space. We're here to see how many different ways we can free ourselves. Mm. 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 I love it. So I was struggling earlier to figure out like what kind of tree's gonna go here. It's not a tree, bitch. It's a giant flower. Because guess what? This is a house for a mouse. And they would have some crazy shit like that. They would be like, how do I make my house look mad cute? We gonna have big flowers on our porch. What's the good life for a mouse? A house by the sea with some big, pretty pink flowers instead of palm trees. Nice. Mm, there we go. We're almost done. I'm just gonna give some of these flowers an extra petal. I'm gonna give this one back its petal. Your finger is your best friend, y'all. You don't need blender tools and you don't need an extra brush. You don't have to be holding two brushes to make it perfect unless that's your jam. But if you're just like here trying to make art and you're figuring it out, don't let these things paralyze you. Use your fingers. Look at that. I can't make that texture up and I love it. That was my fucking thumb. I should probably look into Substack's policy on cursing. We're calling that one done. All I gotta do is ink it. Hmm. I expected nothing from this piece. I actually thought this was just gonna be scrap, and it's unfolded so quickly and beautifully, and I'm like, whoa, this is definitely a print, and I might even make it a jumbo, like a poster. I still gotta put some ink. The original, um, I don't think this one's a starting price item. This is not a 42. I just straight channeled some crazy shit. I'm gonna sit on the price. It's gonna be between 65 and 108. All right, y'all. That's this is a wrap on studio sessions number 5. Um, I'll be doing this every Thursday. There may be days where that may not happen, but most Thursdays, for the time being, I will be here 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard. And I'm just going to be doing exactly what I've been showing y'all. Taking up space, channeling spirit, making art. Please feel free to come join. Please support. Please send this to people who you know would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. I'm coming up on 1 year with my studio, Kiid. It's dedicated to little Nikki, Kid Nikki, and Mandu is dumpling in Korean, and this is me creating small pieces of magic so that I can keep him fed. Because if children are sacred, our inner children, that's divine. I had to get back to myself. I had to find my child self. And now I'm the ultimate parent to this kid who really needed a lot more in life. And it's okay. On the other side of healing comes forgiveness, compassion, and grace, and a knowing that it's no one's fault. But now we can take care of ourselves. So yeah, come through, support. Peace, love, and light. Be well.